Hello, and welcome to the second week of my ramble episodes, I guess is what I'm calling them now. The episodes that are unproduced and are just me going on about stuff that hopefully you will find helpful and or entertaining and interesting. So today I am going to talk about something that was inspired by conversation that we had at our last HSP community Zoom meeting. So for those of you who don't know, I have on my Reclaim app, which is a self-care and boundary setting app for highly sensitive people, I have the HSP community in the app, and there are chats that we have in the app ongoing, and then once a month we agree upon a time that works for the majority of the group, and we have a live Zoom meeting, it's just been so much fun, and we've had some really great conversations. So if this is something you would like to do, please email me, lauren@laurenlassalcoaching.com. I would love to have you in the app community or just to do the live Zoom, whichever you would prefer. You can do a combination of both if that feels comfortable for you. It's been really great. But anyway, so one thing that came up at our last meeting was talking about our strengths as highly sensitive people. So what does our high sensitivity allow us to do that we view as a strength? And I think a lot of our answers were very similar. Mostly it was being able to be there for other people, being able to know how to help other people to make them feel comfortable, whether that's emotionally comfortable, physically comfortable, being an ear, being somebody who they can talk to, somebody who will listen to them, somebody who will be a support for them. And I think this is so common among HSPs, which I think is a really great, it is a strength. It's a great thing for us to want to be there for other people and to be able to so fully be there for other people. And what's also interesting to me about this is that not only is that a strength, but I feel like in a way, I don't want to call it a weakness because I don't think it's a weakness, but in that strength, if we are using that too much, it can be very detrimental to us, to ourselves, which is very interesting. So if we are constantly being there for other people, if we are constantly worrying about how other people are feeling, how they are doing, we can often neglect how we are feeling and how we're doing because we are so focused on others. And I think there's this interesting balance that you can strive toward as an HSP where you are able to take care of yourself, which means all the self-care things, setting boundaries, and also being able to be there for other people in a way that feels good for you and that feels manageable for you. Because I think a lot of the time we so want to be there for other people that it can be overwhelming, it can be draining, it can really deplete us of our energy, and we can feel resentful about it sometimes even, but we're the ones that keep doing it because we don't want to let people down. And so I think that can be a really difficult balance sometimes. And I don't even know if balance is the right word because I think it depends on the person, and that can constantly be changing depending on how you are taking care of yourself and how you are feeling and how much you are able to be there for other people and also be there for yourself at the same time. So it can be a little tricky. And I mean, if that's something you want to work on, please message me. I'm currently redesigning my programs. So when they are ready, I'm definitely going to announce it on the podcast and talk about it. But that setting boundaries and taking care of yourself are things that I love to work on with clients. I worked on those with therapy clients. I work on that with coaching clients because those are things that I really had to learn about in my own life because I was always there for other people. I felt like I had to immediately rush to somebody if they, quote unquote, needed me and needed me to be there for them. And I didn't even think about myself a lot of the time, and not in a good way, in a way that I was damaging my own well-being and my own health. And so, yeah, so I love to work on that with clients because I think it makes such a difference in your life to be able to be there for yourself and take care of yourself finally. And that allows you to really be able to be there for other people. And knowing your capacity to be there for other people is really important as well, which is all a part of that. So I just sort of wanted to bring that up because I think that's something that so many of us can relate to. And I would love to know what your strengths are as an HSP. If you would love to message me on Instagram at Self-Care with Lauren LaSalle or email me, lauren@laurenlassallecoaching.com. I'd love to have a conversation with you about your strengths, as well as maybe things that you want to work on. And that's the weekly question that I posted actually in our HSP community this week is, what do you view as your strengths as an HSP, and what is an area that you feel like you need to work on? So I mean, just like I was talking about right now, I feel like they could be the same thing because there are two different parts of being there for people. There's being there for others and being there for yourself. And sometimes we are not doing enough of one of them, which is usually taking care of ourselves. So I would love to have a conversation with you. I'd love to have you message me to talk about this. I love connecting with podcast listeners. I know sometimes maybe people are feeling hesitant to reach out, but I've heard from several people that once they did, it was great. They felt so much better. It's really great to connect with other HSPs. So I would always love to hear from you if you feel like you don't have any other HSPs in your life to connect with, or if you just want to say, hey, whatever you would like. So that's my little ramble for today. If that resonated with you, again, I'd love to connect. If you could take a minute to rate and review this podcast, wherever you listen to it, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you rate and review, I would really appreciate that. It really helps me know how I'm doing, how the podcast is doing, and it lets other people, other listeners know as well, potential listeners. If you would like to take a screenshot of the episode that you're listening to and share it in your stories and tag me, that would be super cool as well. And I will reshare that. It's really nice to get feedback about the podcast because I know I have listeners. I just sometimes don't know if I'm giving you what you want to hear. And I don't know what you would like more of. So it'd be great to have any kind of feedback. So yeah, so that's that for today. I hope you are enjoying me posting weekly now. I know it's only been a couple weeks that it's been weekly, but I'm really, fingers crossed, hoping I can keep this up. This feels much more manageable to me than trying to get 4 fully produced episodes out a month, which is really ideally what I would have loved to be doing this whole time. So being able to get something out weekly, no matter how it is, feels good to me. So I hope it is beneficial to you as well. All right. I will see you in the next episode.